We have been eagerly anticipating Project BBQ for years. It was announced around the same time as Blue Protocol, and where Blue Protocol went through numerous changes over the course of its development process, launching in Japan this year with a full global release in the beginning of 2024, Project BBQ, well, it hasn't fared so well. Neeple, the studio behind the game, released 2 several-minute-long trailers elaborating on the type of game it was supposed to be. A large, open-world MMORPG set within the Dungeon Fighter Online universe, allowing for seamless exploration and transition between regions, cities, dungeons. And then last year they confirmed, for all intents and purposes, the game was canceled. But not in the way that we expected. On the contrary, they had canceled Project BBQ so they could have it undergo a metamorphosis into something that they were under the impression would be far more lucrative in the long term, and thus Project AK was born, which we admittedly have a 1-minute trailer for. The footage you've been seeing in the background has thus far been from the older version Project BBQ, whereas the footage we're about to see is from the upcoming Project AK, henceforth known as Arad Chronicle Kazan. With the trailer came the announcement of the title, including an entire overhaul of the core game. So let's go take a look.
한때는 제국을 지켰던 적도 있었지. 거대한 광룡을 쓰러뜨렸고.
This already looks darker than Dungeon Fighter Overkill.
승리에 환호했어. 우린 영웅이었네. 하나 아무것도 남지 않았고. 나는 눈이 멀었고 우리 둘에겐 어둠이 깃들었네. 친구야.
Man, the scenery in this game looks phenomenal.
진정한 절망이 무엇인지 보여주려 하는. 우리가 지켜낸 세상이니.
Oh shit.
파괴할 권리도 있지 않겠는가? 자네의 선택을 기다리네. 함께하지 않겠는가?
Oh, are you serious? Really? There's no way. They got right to the point where they could showcase gameplay and then said, you know what? Nah, fuck it, they can wait. It does have me curious though, how different the gameplay is gonna be when compared to Project BBQ. Because Project BBQ had some really high quality looking action combat, but that gameplay was taken 5 years ago. This is a very different kind of game to what BBQ was supposed to be, and therefore will likely have a very different type of combat as well. Before we jump into specifics as to what Arad Chronicle is, I want to take a moment here to thank our incredible patrons over on Patreon who allow for me to cover games like this every single day. Your guys' support is invaluable. Arad Chronicles retains its world setting, taking place within and expanding upon the larger Dungeon Fighter Online universe. This new title from Neeple is confirmed to have scrapped the MMO aspect of Project BBQ and instead put a focus on the single-player experience. When asked why this was the case, as Dungeon Fighter Online is an MMO, the upcoming Dungeon Fighter Overkill is an MMO, and Dungeon Fighter Duel is multiplayer, it seems a little bit unusual to make Arad Chronicle the first incarnation of a Dungeon Fighter title to not be influenced by or at least cater towards a multiplayer audience. The devs stated that they saw a larger potential in what they explained was essentially Elden Ring, but in the Dungeon Fighter Online world. Yes, they have taken direct inspiration from Elden Ring and have confirmed that Arad Chronicle, instead of being an open world action MMO, would instead be a Souls-like action RPG. And that honestly isn't bad. Elden Ring was a great game, and while Dungeon Fighter is a great MMO, it makes sense that they're not really confident a new title in the franchise would do too well in the long term, especially given how critical MMO players are of new titles these days. I don't know, it just seems like it wouldn't be the smartest business move for them to make, and I get that. Arad Chronicle is set 800 years before the events of Dungeon Fighter Online, allowing players to experience the tale of General Kazan and Archmage Ozma. At present, Arad Chronicle is confirmed to be releasing onto console, PlayStation, and Xbox. However, when they were hiring last year, they were hiring programmers with experience in integration between Xbox Live, the PlayStation Network, and Steam, which to me sounds a little bit like they're alluding to console and PC cross-platform functionality. Honestly, we need more PC, console, cross-platform MMOs. Too many MMOs release cross-platform between PC and mobile, and while Arad Chronicle is not an MMO, if it is a Souls-like game, it's probably going to have some type of multiplayer functionality. I'm honestly very excited for Arad Chronicle. This is a beautiful looking game that could really allow the Dungeon Fighter universe to expand into areas it had never been capable of reaching. And while Korea isn't typically known for making the best MMOs, they do make some solid non-MMOs. There is no 2023 release date confirmed at present, but a 2024 test phase wouldn't be out of the question. Neeple nor Nexon have confirmed if there will be a premium box price for the game or if it'll be free to play, but the former is much more likely than the latter, yet also much more difficult to monetize. If you're interested in the MMO version of this though, I do have a video on Dungeon Fighter Overkill, which is essentially a gorgeous, completely overhauled version of Dungeon Fighter Online releasing in the near future. That is in fact an MMO, and might be a great alternative to Blue Protocol if you're unhappy with how it or this looks.